And as Rolf said earlier, that kind of gave you the big break with the record companies and
the Eurovision Song Contest is a huge exposure, because all the European countries and even countries outside Europe are watching. And I think what we did was the right thing, because it was a bonus really for us. We had recorded the whole album. It was ready for release on the same month anyway.
Okay.
So when we won, it was really pushing the buttons. It was a great window for us. And even the first week, I think we had a release commitment for most of Europe and even countries outside Europe.
How would you classify your music? I mean, for for I guess convenience sakes, music does get classified into new age, rock, pop, or whatever.
We've always had that problem and if you look at the international picture of marketing, we are so many things. One thing in the States, one thing in Europe, one thing in Asia, and which in a way sort of gives us the idea that maybe this is a marketing thing, not a musical thing. I think it's down to the record companies and the marketing people to find a way of bridging that to the audience. And we are, on the other side, not so concerned. We feel the music is a very personal music for us. And what Fionnuala was saying in the beginning is true also for the music, that we have even created a name to define the music without even thinking of genres, at all. We want it to be organic, we want it to be poetic, beautiful, whether it's classical or pop, it's not really our concern. It could be both.
Okay, we'll just
leave the answer open.
Make it a separate genre of its own, Secretgarden. Now, Fionnuala, you said you were with an orchestra before you met Rolf, so obviously you were playing classical.
Yeah,
repertoire?
I started off with classical training, and that was my background in Ireland, as well as, you can't grow up in Ireland without being influenced by the traditional music
Irish music,
there,
right?
And I mean, it's sort of music that is spread throughout the world, and with the help of Riverdance and groups like that. But I even though I ended up working in an orchestra for 10 years, which was actually a fantastic time, I always was during that period very interested in every other type of music. So I never felt myself totally just a classical musician. I always just thought of myself as a violinist, and some of my happiest days were when I was recording for other artists, and I did an awful lot of session work, and which gave me a huge volume of experience in allowing me to step out. And when I met Rolf, I was ready. If I had just come straight from just playing in an orchestra and doing nothing else, I don't think I would have been able to step out into our world and have a voice really to give to it, because I needed to create an individual sort of sound for myself during that time also.
Now, Rolf, when you found the voice for your music, in other words, Fionnuala's violin, did you change your style of writing?
Yes and no. I think I was inspired by Fionnuala because she opened a lot of musical doors. Her Celticness that she added here was something that I immediately could see working in my music, and I think we in a way inspired each other, so my answer would be yes, I was inspired by Fionnuala's way of playing because she brought the Irishness to the music. But saying that, there is a huge connection between Norway and Ireland in terms of music. There's a certain melancholy, sort of a darkness, is all the minor keys, and I think for me as a Norwegian, I love Irish music, and I think equally she can understand the color of Norwegian music very easily because there is a closeness to these things.
What is Norwegian music? I mean, I think we're familiar somewhat with Celtic
of course,
music,
but Grieg, of course, and all that.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So I guess one way of I think Norwegian music is inspired by traditions, and I think that has to be described more on the emotional and maybe on the darker side of things. Maybe music is a way of expressing emotions or something. And I think you can hear that, for instance, in Norwegian classical music like Grieg. But Norway is also, of course, a very diverse musical picture with jazz and with pop music and everything. So the answer is not really an easy one to give, but I think that's where it's coming from.
Now, for just convenience sake, we'll just call your music new age or new instrumental or neoclassical, as some marketers have said. I'm also thinking that 1995, that was like early 90s, that was when like there was this huge boom in this kind of soothing, poetic music that we now call new age, right?
That's true,
I think there was that demand from not just the marketers but also from consumers, music consumers, for this kind of music as well, right?
I'm hoping there's a demand again.
No, I think more so now because people are into things like self-reflection, meditation, the inner well-being, and all those things,
true.
and music does have the power to heal, doesn't it?
Maybe we hit that wave, and we're lucky in a way when we started, because we got that starting help that we needed. It was certainly not designed or planned by us, but maybe we also respond in the same way as the audience and the market does. That there was a need for us to create this music.
Why do you think people seek out this kind of music?
I think it's exactly what you've hit on there. And I think actually now there's another wave of people needing that sort of time out. If you look around all of us, we're permanently on our iPhones, on our tablets, we're Facebooking, tweeting. All of those things didn't even exist back in 95. So, there's more and more stuff entering our heads that we have to deal with and are attached to. And I think everybody's having to work harder. World economies are all over the place. So it's a combination of so many things that I think that we've all created this very high, fast bubble for ourselves. And then, it suddenly gets to a point that, oh God, you can't deal with it. You need to be able to escape into somewhere else. And in a way, music is that helps people. I know more and more people are doing meditation now, and mindfulness is becoming a huge thing where I'm coming from. And so everybody's looking for that third dimension. But invariably music has the power instantly to maybe help you get into that place. And even if you're sitting on a busy tube or something, you put on your headset and you can sort of find your own peace in that few moments with a piece of music.
Yeah. I think we're going to find a couple of minutes of peace by listening to your music. And this is from Secret Garden's recent album, Winter Poem. It's a track called The Dream.